welcome to the Greek intensive course of Princeton's Theological Seminary. My name is Luan Henrique Gomes Ribeiro. It's a mouthful, and from Brazil, we usually have two names and two surnames. So you can call me just Luan or Ribeiro, or Professor Luan, Professor Ribeiro, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. I'm the instructor for this course, and I'm really excited that wherever we are in the world, I myself right now am in Brazil, and I know that we have students in Europe, in Asia, which makes the time a little more difficult in different parts of the US. But wherever you are and whatever it is that you're going to be doing this summer, we're going to be learning and studying this language together, which is really exciting. I want to introduce a little bit of myself. I already said my name, Luan Ribeiro. I'm from Brazil. I finished my PhD in New Testament and Early Christianity at Harvard University last year, 2024. And I'm teaching New Testament at Princeton Seminary in the capacity of a postdoctoral teaching fellow. And I've been teaching Greek for quite a bit now. I've taught here in Portuguese in Brazil. I've taught for a little bit in Austria, and for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been teaching in the U.S. as a teaching assistant, and now as the main instructor. Welcome. As I said, welcome. I want to talk just a little bit with you today in this introduction video about the structure of the course, go through a few things in the syllabus, also a couple of things on the website that is really important for us, and hopefully this video will set you up to begin this summer in a good way, okay? Now, we have, of course, a lot of things to talk about, so if you do have any questions, even after this video or even after the first precept on Monday, you just email me or any one of the teaching team, and we'll be more than happy to address any questions or concerns that you have, okay? To start off the subject, of course, we're studying Greek, and Greek is a very exciting language. Not only it is the scholarly language of antiquity, but of course, for biblical studies, it's really, really fundamental, right? I'm thinking about a couple ancient authors that talk about how they could do things with Greek that they couldn't do, for instance, with Latin. If you take an author like Quintilian, for instance, even though he writes in Latin, a lot of the times he uses Greek terminology to address the concepts that he wants to talk and develop, just because Greek gave him more than what he had with Latin, which is a very interesting thing. Of course, he was the lingua franca, or more appropriately, it was the lingua greca of the antiquity, right? People all over the empire could speak it and write on it, and the New Testament, of course, was written in Greek. So not only it is a language that allows you to understand the ancient world as a whole, but the New Testament, if you really want to study it, preach it, teach it, or just understand it, it's really fundamental that you know this language. The good thing for us in terms of biblical studies is that not only you can manage the New Testament once you learn Greek, but you can also work pretty well with Old Testament materials as well. Because in antiquity, especially from the first century BCE, and then coming into the Common Era, the Annus Domini, right, the years of our Lord, we have translations, multiple translations of the Hebrew Bible into Greek, which we call Septuagint. And this is not one version, these are multiple translations in the past, and these are really, really important, and they continue to be more and more important as the centuries go on. So if you know Greek, you can work and read the Old Testament in the form of the Septuagint translations, and of course you can read the New Testament, which was originally written in Greek. So how exciting that you can work with the entire Bible after you learn this language. Now, I want to begin also stressing something that is really important for this course. This is an intensive course, okay? And it means that you have to separate quite a bit of time every day for this, okay? Think of it. We are doing what we normally do in 2 semesters. So a year-long course, right? Greek 1 and Greek 2, if you will, or Greek A and B, right? The first semester of Greek and then the second semester of Greek. And we're taking this academic year and we are compressing it into 8 weeks of class work in the summer. So 8 weeks of course corresponds to an entire year of Greek. So you can imagine that things go quite fast. The pace is strong, and that you really have to dedicate yourself, right? So we propose, and we're gonna see this in the syllabus in a little bit, that you separate from 5 to 7 hours every day for this, meaning that this will take probably the best part of your day, or a big chunk of your day, let's call it like that, in which you're going to be doing the vocab, the exercises, going through the book, watching the recorded classes and things like that, okay? Now, we have been running this course for a few years here at PTS, and what I'm about to say is not a threat, and it's not to scare you in any way. It's just a reality that has happened in the past. Sometimes people fail the course. And this is not because the course is too difficult or the language is impossible to learn or anything like that. No. Whenever people usually struggle that hard is because they are not dedicating time to the class. Okay? If you just have 1 hour a day for this is impossible to do. Okay? If you just go to the precept and don't do much else after that, it's a hard course to take then. Okay? So we're gonna be studying Greek every day, and a lot of it every day, okay? So please organize yourself. We're gonna go over the structure of the course just now, but please organize yourself and understand that you're gonna have to commit yourself for this 8 weeks, okay? This means also, of course, that you have many advantages, right? So instead of spending a whole year with it, after 8 weeks, you have accomplished it. So if you put on the time, it's not like you're not gonna get anything back from it. You're gonna get quite a lot from it, okay? And I want to go over a little bit also about the structure of the course. So there's mainly 3 components that we have, and these are really important, okay? First one, the lectures are recorded. So they are available in the website, which is Brightspace. And don't worry, if you're not familiar with it, you're going to be familiar with it pretty quickly because we're going to be using this every day and quite a bit. So don't worry too much. You're going to get familiar with Brightspace, and the lectures are there. So the lectures are pre-recorded, and you can watch it 1 time, 2 times, 10 times, 20 times, whenever you feel comfortable, okay? So you can watch and rewatch the classes, even if we are in week 7 and by some chance you must go back to week 3 to watch whatever it is, you can do that. So you can always rewatch classes, okay? And these, therefore, are not live sessions. So the classes are not live. You can watch them whenever you want. They are recorded. Now, I want also to say that the classes are not taught by me, the recorded classes, okay? They are recorded by Dr. Eric Barreto. He's also a professor, associate professor of New Testament at Princeton Theological Seminary. And the videos then are recorded by him, and he did a fantastic job. So we are well served with that, okay? So this is the first component. The second component, and this is really, really important, is the precepts. Precepts are live sessions that we have every day, okay? In the morning and in the afternoon. Some of you will be in the morning, some of you will be in the afternoon, and that's okay. Those are live sessions. They are 90 minutes long, and they serve the purpose of going over primarily the homework or the practice and review. That's the nomenclature, practice and review, which the book uses, and we're going to be using that as well. Okay, so the practice and review section of the book, which are the exercises. So that is the moment in which we come together as a group, 8-10 students per section, more or less, and we go over the exercises, we ask questions, we interact, we try to help each other, but mainly we go over the doubts that we had whenever we were going over the sentences, for instance. Okay, so that is live, and that is very much mandatory. Okay, those sections, those precepts are not recorded, so if you miss them, you really have missed quite a bit of it. And that impacts not only your learning, but also your grade, as we're about to see. Okay, so first we have recorded classes that you can watch and rewatch. Then we have precept live sessions that take place every day, and they're not recorded, and you have to be there. And the third part of it is tutoring. So we have extra times in which you can come in and make more questions, ask away, just go over things whenever you feel like you need. All right, and tutoring happens in kind of office hours that are pre-established, so you can just tune in, just click in the link, and Brady, which is our tutor for this course, will be there waiting for you. So it may be that we have 5-10 students at the tutoring asking questions, and that's okay. But if you feel like you need a more like an individual time to answer questions and go through specific things, there's also the opportunity to schedule a tutoring section with Brady, who's the tutor. And those slots are 20 minutes long. So you can always schedule this 20-minute long conversation with Brady, in which you can address in an individual level some of the issues that you may have. All right, so you have the recorded classes, you have the precept live sessions that take place every day, and then you have tutoring in case you need it. Okay, those are not mandatory, but those are available to you there. And I run myself also kind of a tutoring moment on Fridays, in which I also come live, and you can join the link and just ask questions, and go over details of the syllabus or the class or whatever it is they want to ask about. All right, so this pretty much is kind of the structure of the class. Now I want to go through the syllabus a little bit with you, and then we'll go through the website. So let me just do this. So this is our website. I'm trying to take here, yes, our syllabus, and a couple of things. Of course, go, if you have not done yet, read it entirely in detail, okay? But just a couple of things. The books are all available through the website, PTS website, library website. So you can just go there and download the digital version of it, okay? However, especially we're going to be using Croix and Jon Mark's books, right? Our textbook is a primer of biblical Greek, and a Greek reader, a companion, is pretty much that. A companion, a resource that we have to expand our knowledge of Greek, and that works as a review for our course, okay? So those two can be downloaded at our library website. Now, that being said, if you have not, I very much incentivize you to buy a physical copy of these books, okay? I think it's better if you have the actual book, and it's probably, pedagogically speaking, since everything else is digitally done in this course, if you have the actual book, it's probably a good thing. All right, but do what you feel comfortable, what you work best, whatever works best for you. I think you should buy the book. All right. Also, I want to go then to the requirements. Now, there are 5 requirements, and the first one is attendance. Of course, you have to come. Okay. you have to come to the precepts. And attendance in our case, since a lot of it is done individually, and whenever you're ready, attendance means coming to the live sessions every day for the precept. Okay, this is really important. There is a requirement that we have to attend 80% of it, but it's not only about the requirement, really. It's about how you are able to learn. Because imagine that you miss a couple of days, right? A couple of days of classes, in our case, is the equivalent of a week and a half, sometimes, of classes in the semester-long course. So imagine that you just disappear from classes during the semester and you come back a couple of weeks later. Are you going to be able to interact with the content just like that? Probably not. You're going to struggle a little bit. So it's really important that you come every day, because if you don't, you will miss quite a bit, and we don't want that, okay? So it's more than just attending. It's really in the interest of you learning best, okay? Now, we have 2 weekly quizzes that open on Friday and they close on Saturday, okay? So you have a pretty large kind of window in which you can take these. And they are grammar quizzes, as you can see, and vocab quizzes. And they're both, in the totality of them, worth 15%, okay? So we're going to see through the website every Friday at the end of the week. You take these quizzes, okay? Now, the grammar quiz is a 30-minute long time limit, and the vocab is a 15-minute long kind of time limit, okay? So it's also important that once you are going to do the quizzes, that you sit down and you make sure that you have the time to do it, okay? We don't want to run the risk of you opening the quiz, and then 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you have to run to do something, and the window will close and you are not finished with the quiz, okay? Because once the 30-minute time limit expires, that's it. The quiz closes on you, all right? So this is these grammar and vocab quizzes are pretty straightforward. We do them via Brightspace, and it's going to be really clear for you how to do them. Similarly, we have 4 exams during the 8 weeks of this course, and these are scattered, of course, strategically through the summer, and each individual exam is worth 15 percentage points, totaling to a total of 60%. These are 2-hour long exams. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to take 2 hours to do it. It may it may take half of that, less than that. It's okay, but you have available to you 2 hours to complete it. And again, once you open it, you have 2 hours, and then after that, the window closes, and that's the end of that. So be mindful of it, okay? And then homework and participation. Now, this is pretty significant also. We are uploading things to the website every day. Let me repeat that. We upload homework to the website every day. So every day you're supposed to do your homework, the practice and review from Croy's book, and upload it to the website. And you come to section. Now, those 2 constitute what a full day of participation means, all right? You upload your homework, and then you come to the live sessions, to the precept. You are very I incentivize you to go to the precept participation rubric and take a look at it, how the teaching team will assess participation, all right? And this does not mean, I want to just be clear, that participation and homework and participation means that you're learning everything to the full extent, that you have no doubts or anything like that. No, that's not what it means. Let's say that you did the homework and half of it was incorrect, okay? And you come to the session and you're not understanding things clearly, But you're making the questions, you're helping your colleagues, you did the homework, you prepared yourself. It's just a matter of tweaks here and there, just, to make you confident and to make you so just that you understand everything. Well, you're fully participating. Okay? I just want to kind of make that clear. But please go and read the precept participation rubric and take a look at the rest of it. All right? Now, I just want to go to the very end here. This is the recommended daily schedule. Again, it totals 7 hours. Okay? So let's say that you don't have your day structured for the summer. This is a very good suggestion for you. Okay? I would probably start here and see how you feel. And some of you may not take 7 hours. I'll be honest. Some of you may take 4 or 5 hours to do this and have a very good learning experience. And that's very good. Some of you may take the 7 hours. All right. So it's really for you to decide and see how much time you need to spend with each of these individual components. But I want to be clear, you have to go through each of these individual components. All right. So if it takes you not 1 hour to memorize the vocabulary, if it takes you 30 minutes, so be it. But you will be spending time memorizing the vocabulary. Okay. So if it takes you a little less time to complete the sentences in Cry, that's wonderful. Do that and go and do whatever works for you. But this is a suggestion of how your day should or probably, should look like in terms of the amount of time you spend with each of the components that we have to go through. All right. And finally, at the end, of course, we have our schedule. You can see from the very beginning everything that we have. Just a little note here, July 4th, of course, we don't have anything going on, right? And whenever we have an exam, we also do not have a precept, okay? So precepts happen every day with the exception of July 4th, which is a holiday, and whenever we have exams, all right? So whenever we have exams, on that specific day, we don't have precepts, the live sessions. All right. Now let me go quickly to the website and show you a couple of things. Okay. So this is our course website. You go to course information here. There you go. Here you can find, let me move myself out of the way. You can find the syllabus, the teaching team, of course, myself here. We have the wonderful Monica Burt, who will be one of our teaching assistants for this summer. David Richmond, also an incredible teacher, will be with us. And Lauren will also be the final teaching assistant for us. So this is kind of the teaching team. And we also have Brady, who's our tutor, and will be joining us also in the tutoring sessions over the summer. Okay, so you have information here about precept, about tutoring. As I said, you have from 3:30 to 4:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the live session, right? You can just jump in and you don't have to schedule anything. But the private tutoring sessions you can schedule via this link here on the bottom of the page. Okay, now there's more things here for you to see, but I want to just go quickly to week 1 and show you a few things. Now, this is extremely important. Week 1 checklist. All right, you click here. It looks a little different just because I'm in the instructor kind of, view mode, but this is what you will see. Lesson 1. Have you read lesson 1 in Cry? Yes? Well, you click on it. All right, you check it. Have you watched the lesson 1 video? Well, I did. Click on it. And you're going to be checking things as you go. All right? Have you done everything? Well, you just check it. Just check it. And then you're going to see that at the end of the week, there's the quiz. So you just click on the quiz and you go for it and you do it. So this is a very good way of keeping track of the things that you're doing. Okay? Because there's quite a few things that we have to do every day. So it's easy for you just, I forgot to learn the vocab. Well, if you're just checking things out over here, you're not going to have that problem. All right. So if you go to lesson 1, just very quickly, you have everything that you need over here. You have the lecture recorded. All right. You have a handout for you. Of course, we begin with the alphabet. You have the practice and review. Mind you, this is the homework, okay? You have this on your book. You have it on the digital version of the book if you are using that. But you also have in a handout format here on the website. So do you have an iPad that you can write on it? Do you prefer that way? Just go for it, okay? I want to print the handout and pen on paper and then take a photo of it and upload to the website. Just go ahead and do it, okay? Well, I don't have a printer, I don't have an iPad. It's okay. Just take a look at this, a piece of paper, just write your answers on it and upload to the website. Whatever works for you. I just want to make sure that I say one thing. We are expecting you to do some handwriting, all right? We're not typing much this semester, okay? So please handwrite. This will be important for your learning, and it also avoids the temptation of using, Chat GPT or anything like that to fulfill some of these things. Of course, we know in our hearts that you will never do it, but it avoids also the temptation, okay? But writing Greek is actually really important. It's gonna work in your favor, all right? So we have the answer key here. Well, why is it that the answers are giving here? Well, it's a tool to help you. Once you've done the practice and review, once you've done the homework, you can come back here and immediately take a look. Well, what did I get right? What did I, get wrong? Why is it that I'm wrong in this? So you can kind of check yourself before we come and do this together. Flashcards, right? If you work well with flashcards, we have links to Quizlet on every lesson. You can come here and you can, do the flashcards. If you have the app on your iPad or your phone or anything like that, you can also do it. So there's always a link here. And then there's the lesson 1 homework. Now for this, I think it's best if I just very quickly view as a learner, just to show you what it is that we mean when we say that you have to upload your homework, okay? So we are at week 1. You come here, lesson 1. You go to the very end, lesson 1 homework. You go to assignment. And there you go. Right here, you have add a file, all right? So you just upload the photo of your homework and you do that every day, okay? That is a very important thing. And then to finalize, you have the review. And as I mentioned before, our review is Mark Young's A Greek Reader, all right? The companion to Croy's book. So that is our review tool. So you do that also. And you're gonna have that every day. So that's kind of what you are going to see every day when you come to Brightspace, all right? Now at the end, there is a lot of handouts and documents and auxiliary tools for you to learn. Please take a look at those and additional resources also that are very interesting. For instance, we have the Nestle Aland, which is the Greek New Testament, the critical edition, the most recent critical edition. We have the Quizlet for all lessons, the 32 lessons of Croy. We have vocab and all sorts of links here that can help you have a better experience with the class. All right, so go and take a look at that. I think this video is long enough, but hopefully I've covered a few things to help us get started. Now, I'm really excited again to learn and to go through this experience through the summer with you. I pray that the Lord will bless you wherever you are in this world, and that's we'll have a very productive Greek class this summer. May the Lord be with you. May the Lord bless you, and welcome to the intensive Greek course of Princeton Theological Seminary.